Joining me is Canadian jazz pop artist Katie Ditschun, and she's here today to talk about her successful music career and what is next for her and her new debut LP called SpareSkirt. I love the title, SpareSkirt. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Christine, for having me.
Yeah, so where did you get the title, SpareSkirt?
Oh, well, that's an interesting story, to say the least. And I saved it. I didn't tell everybody right away. I was at a gig. It was a small function, and somebody I had met before knew I was going to be there. And as I arrived, she said, "Oh, don't leave. When we're done, don't leave. I have something for you." And I thought, "Oh, okay." And so after the gig, I did have to rush off because I teach private lessons, and a student was performing, and I was going to be accompanying the student. I said, I don't have a lot of time, but she said, "Oh, come here." And she pulled me, it was a hotel, and she pulled me into like a secluded corner into the hotel in the hallway. And she proceeded to pull a skirt out of a bag, but then she put that skirt on underneath the skirt she was already wearing, took off the skirt she was wearing, put that skirt in a bag, like take your stuff home from the hospital bag,
yeah,
and then gave it to me and said, "Here, I made this skirt, and I think you'll get more use out of it than I will."
Wow.
So it was such a strange experience. I didn't know what to do or say, because when does that ever happen to anybody? I don't know.
Yes.
So I thought, okay, that's really strange. Yeah, she wore the skirt she was going to give me. But yeah, it's so weird. Anyway, and so we joked about it, my husband and I, and we wanted a catchy title, something that was different, would get somebody's attention. And this idea of a spare skirt and how you carry around a spare skirt really kind of stuck with us. And we thought, okay, well, we'll just call the album SpareSkirt. I think that's great. So yeah, that's where it came from.
It's catchy.
Strangest story. Yeah, I love your reaction. You're like, really? Because when I tell people, I kind of get like this mouth open, like, what? What?
But
so weird.
But there's a reason behind it. It's
yeah,
and it's
it was an inspiration. It inspired me. We'll say that.
That's great. And well, so there's 10 songs, right, on the album, right? And
yes.
One that I listened to all of them, but Firefly.
Oh,
that one is. Can you tell us about that one? Like your.
Yeah. I'll be honest about that one. My husband and I have a beautiful son. He's 13 now. And a couple of years after he was born, he was around 2-ish, we started trying again for another child. No luck. We ended up going to get fertility help. No luck. And so secondary infertility is what we experienced. And I felt very alone in that experience. I still don't know anybody personally who has experienced secondary infertility. I didn't have anybody really to talk to. It's also an interesting place to be where you have a child, so you have both the wonderful joy and love and everything wonderful about having a child. On the other hand, you know what you're missing. And so if you can't talk to people who don't have any children because you have a child, and you can't really talk to people who have multiple children because they don't. So I really felt alone for a long time. And so Firefly is about infertility. It's about trying to catch something or obtain something that you can't obtain. And so it really, quite honestly, it's for me, it reveals my soul, metaphorically. And I didn't want it to be too revealing. And so I decided to take those heart-wrenching, for me, lyrics and put them to an upbeat, happy-sounding tune. Because I like the juxtaposition, actually. That's kind of new too. I like the juxtaposition of, happy and sad together, or serious and not so serious. Like I like that. So yeah, that's for Firefly is about our infertility experience.
Yes, yeah. And thank you for sharing it. And also it makes you feel like it heals, right? To express it in your music as a professional musician. And
it's quite amazing how creating the art can be healing. It's soul soothing, definitely. Yeah.
All your songs has a meaning. It's from your own experiences. And
yeah. Well, I mean, we write what we know, right? That's an old adage. But what I strive to do is to write my songs in such a way that it means something specific to me, but somebody else can listen to it and it mean something to them. Similar, but hopefully they can relate to it from their own life experience. So they both have to do with loss or love or whatever it is. But I don't want my story to be the only thing that you get out of it. I want people to feel like it touches them and they can relate. So that's what I really try to do.
Yes, and Katie, tell us about the process in the album. It came out just in May of 2019, is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. After moving to Alexandria, I didn't make music for a long time. I was teaching privately. I didn't have it in me. I was struggling with stuff.
Yes.
And we, after moving to Alexandria, small town living, I started to meet people. I started to feel worthy, again, of friendships and of interaction. And I made some really special, wonderful friends here. And I started meeting musicians here.
Yeah.
And I found it's a wonderful pocket of talent here.
Wow.
And it started inspiring me. And I started working with people and I thought, I can do this. I don't have to always do somebody else's music. I can do my music too. And so I had a couple of songs written, and then I just really started to work really hard on the songwriting. And it was both therapeutic
Yes.
and fun. And when I was about ready, I applied for a Factor grant. I got a Factor artist development grant, so that was fantastic. And I found a great guy, Normand Glode, in Ottawa, and I felt like I kind of won the lottery because I felt like he understood my vision, and he was both a fantastic musician and had a great ear. So I had full confidence in him that he could co-produce and engineer it and do it justice, and help me make it come to life. And he did. And the musicians on the album, I feel like I wasn't even worthy their talent, because I would leave the recording session, I'd be like, holy crap, like, this is my stuff. I can't believe these people are playing on my album. And so it was just a long but fantastic experience. I'm so grateful for it. Yeah.
Well, how does it feel to be performing? I mean, you went from teaching to performing, and you do both now, but how did it feel the first time performing and having the record out or the album?
Kind of still. It was a long time before I believed I could do it. I struggled a long time with confidence. I've been teaching for a long time. I did graduate with a degree in music, so I knew I could do it, but I guess I didn't believe it. But, growth happens through experience. And so when it finally happened, I was kind of pinching myself. I'm grateful and realizing that, I don't have to do just one thing. I can do many things.
Yes.
Yeah, which is one of the wonderful things about being a musician. I mean, I don't have a 9 to 5. I have a crazy schedule because I do a bunch of different gigs here and there, you know, teaching or
Painting.
gigging or yeah, I love it. I love it. I get to music every day.
Yes, and it's wonderful. You are inspiring people to, because what a better time now with, I mean, music heals, and it's so needed right now with COVID-19, and we need to, this feeds the soul, and you're part of it.
It really does. Yeah, the evidence that music is essential to our humanity is really becoming evident to a lot of people, I think. You're seeing a lot of people, you know, on the internet, on Facebook or whatever, you know, just and not professionals, just people getting out there and sharing their love of music, sharing their ability. That to me is fantastic. As a singing teacher, I always hate it when people say, "Oh, I can't sing." Or I hear stories of, well, when I was a kid, my music teacher, they told me to mouth the words. And I think, oh, that is so awful. I feel like our voices are parts of our soul. That's how we express our soul. It's like, how can you tell somebody that part of their soul is not good? Or how can people say, oh, I can't sing, I'm awful at that, I sound terrible. I think, you know, they don't sound terrible. They might not have technique. They might not be able to sing like the best singers out there, but I just want to hear people sing because it means that much to me. I mean, when I'm singing, I feel like that's me, entirely me. I can't hide. It is what it is. And, you know, it doesn't matter if it's beautiful or not. Sometimes it's you. We should embrace it.
Yes, and you are doing it on Facebook Live. That's wonderful.
I'm trying. Yeah.
Right.
It's a little strange. It feels a little weird, you know, singing to a phone. But, you know, people, I'm getting some great feedback and people are enjoying it. And, you know, that it makes me feel good that people feel good after hearing what I've put out there, whether it be, you know, me just singing a little a cappella lullaby one night or, you know, putting a new song out, whatever. It feels really fantastic that people enjoy it and can be moved by it.
So how do you describe your music?
Well, I am originally a classically trained musician. So I grew up studying through the Royal Conservatory of Music, both piano and voice. And I then went to university for a couple of years in Ontario, at Wilfrid Laurier. I went for a couple of years and I was studying classical voice. And wasn't for me.
No.
The classical world was not my bag. And so I actually quit school. And then I ended up finishing my degree at Berklee College of Music in Boston. And there, I felt like it really expanded my horizons. I did jazz and pop, more Broadway, and I pushed myself to learn as much as I could. I even had a friend from Russia, and she helped me learn a Russian folk song one year that I sang for part of one of my courses. Yeah. So I really did push myself. And so when I talk about my music, it's hard to say that it's influenced by one or two styles. I really feel like every style that I've worked on, it influences me in some way or another. There's a lot of jazz influence because once I discovered jazz, I was enamored. How did I not know all of these beautiful chords so it definitely pop, but I like to insert some of those, jazz notes every now and then. Add some color. I think that the vibrato in my voice you can definitely hear there's some classical training. So, classical, Broadway, jazz, pop, R&B. I think you can hear it. You don't hear everything in every song, but as you go through the album, you can hear different. It's like salt and pepper in all of the songs.
And you're also a painter too.
Well, like I said, moving here has been so wonderful for me. I have become involved with a local group called the Glengarry Artists Collective, and I'm on the board of directors. I never thought I would be on any board of directors, but there's some, like I said, there's some great talent here, and I've made a beautiful friend, and we actually exchange singing lesson for painting lesson. When we weren't in isolation, 1 week I would go to her place and we paint. The next week she'd come to my place and we'd sing. And so I started to learn how to paint.
Right.
And I love it, seeing the similarities in approach, and between singing or music and painting, between color and contrast. It's the same thing, like color and contrast in singing. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love painting. I don't think of anything else when I'm putting the paint on the canvas. You can become totally immersed. Just like when I'm playing music, you get lost in the world. And I wish everybody had something like that, where they could just lose themselves in it and let the world wash away for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great way to relieve your stress, is to get centered, if that's what you say. Find yourself, let go of stress and worry, and
Yes.
let the art fill you.
And you are such a role model. You're multi-talented. And what is next for you? A book?
More songs. I have more songs. I've got a handful that haven't been released. I don't know. I can't get into a recording studio right now. So that's why I released the live version of Her, because I thought, well, why not?
Mm-hmm.
Do what you can, where you are with what you have.
Yes. No,
but I've got other songs. A couple of them are really sad, so maybe not yet. So we'll see. But I am not stopping writing. I love the writing process. I have a friend who writes poetry and lyrics, and I have started collaborating with her. So right now I'm working on the music for one of her poems. And so that's been a different challenge for me, because it's not my words. But I'm loving that. It's a lot of fun. It's a challenge. Teaching online. For now, while everything's online, it's going to be, simple. It's not going to be complicated and complex, or, it's me by myself. My husband doesn't play an instrument. He's not very musical. He loves music. And my son, he's just learning the guitar. So it's still me by myself making the music by myself here. So, but maybe, I don't know, but maybe I'm feeling inspired by the people who are, making music together apart. So maybe I'll be contacting some of my friends, see if we can put something together. We'll see.
And online, global, right? So
yeah, exactly.
And Katie, if people want more information, where can they go? Of course, social media, but your social media.
Of course. Well, the best place, I think, is my website, katieditschun.com. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. I'm posting quite a few more videos on Facebook. I'm doing Facebook Live, like we said, Fridays. And I'm trying to put things out often. I'm trying to, even if it's just singing a cappella, like the lullabies. I can't believe how many people have said, oh, every night I keep going to listen to your Stay Awake. Can you just send it to me so I don't have to search for it every night?
It's beautiful.
And it's so great. It's like, I don't know what to say, because I'm like, wow, you really love it that much. That's, wow, thank you. Like, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so online, I'm there.
It's Oh, Katie, thank you so much for your time. I enjoyed this interview. It was fun, as I said, and you are a role model and keep inspiring others. And I'm going to check in Facebook Live with Katie. I mean, I can't sing. Well, you don't want to hear that.
You can sing. See, we're going to change the world, Christine. We got to get everybody saying, I can sing. I may not be the best singer, but I can sing, because they can. You can.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Christine. I had a blast.
Me too. Okay. I'll check in with you again. Okay.
Fantastic. Take care.
Yeah. Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay.